Joel, thank you so much for joining me today. It's an absolute pleasure.
No worries.
You've had such a diverse legal career. Can you give us a snapshot of your story so far?
Thanks, Louise. Well, I finished law at the end of 2010. In 2011, I did my graduate diploma in legal practice. As you and most people listening probably know, the market was starting to go sour from about 2008 onwards. I then finished Leo's. I did a placement slash clerkship, which didn't turn out to anything. I then went to a family friend's firm for a couple of weeks. That really didn't turn out well. I then went into federal politics with the then federal opposition for about 6-7 months or so. Did a bit of commuting to and from Canberra. Didn't like the commuting aspect. Fly in, fly out. It's an experience to have. I then was out of work for 3 months, then did 3 months at a crash bash firm as a solicitor, or part thereof when I had a practicing certificate. And then I got the sack, which wasn't too fun. And I didn't know Gatehouse at the time, so I spent a bit of time out of work, at which time I decided I was already going to the bar, and I sat the exam in October of 2013, if I'm correct, and somehow, by some miracle, actually passed it on the first go. And then I've been at the bar ever since. Got involved in the LIV as well at about that stage. Was chair of the Law Reform Committee, and then was president of the Young Lawyers for 2015.
Why did you make the move, or why did you decide to go to the bar?
If you're going to the bar, you go to the bar. You don't. If you know that's what you want to do, you go when you're meant to go. Now, there is a wisdom that emerges, I would say, among larger law firms that, you have to have experience at a major firm, you need to get contacts. Well, put it this way, if you've been in 2, 3, 4 firms which already have their own barristers, how is that going to prepare you? How is that going to get you a big business network? How do you make those firms your clients? It's no different to if you're just starting out at the bar. Generally, you'll have the same struggles, the same requirements to develop your business. And the thing is, as well, is that it's a completely different skill set as well. Solicitors are traditionally not advocates. I would say that they should not be advocates because they simply don't have the training, at least above a certain level, like directions, hearings and basic magistrates court stuff. We are still the specialists, and our expertise is developed across service for multiple firms, not just in the one firm. So we have that more diverse range of experience. But the question, as I recall, is why make the move to the bar? I've always wanted to be one, and so I thought, if not now, when?
It's fantastic. So you don't necessarily need private practice experience to join?
No. To be fair, you're either born, and that was the problem I faced when looking for work. They said, you'd be a good barrister, and I'm thinking, well, at least they'll brief me, but they won't give me a job, which is fine, to be honest, because you get a lot more control over how you do your work. I obviously don't have the constraints of the complicated IT systems that you see at major firms. I just keep all my stuff in a Dropbox, order my own files, and I probably could have been made to fit into one of those systems we see at the major firms, but it's a constraint that I'm happy doesn't bind me.
Yeah. And when you joined the bar, what were some of the challenges you faced?
Probably come to appreciate the actual market for barristers. Your work doesn't necessarily come from your clerk. That was what used to happen back in the day when I think the legal profession was a lot smaller and barristers did most of the appearance work. Some clerks say that they support their barristers, but in reality barristers have to be effectively individual business people in that respect. But realising where the work comes from is also a thing. It's not the large firms that are briefing, it's more the boutiques, the mid-tiers, the small firms that value your expertise. Larger firms do take some stuff in-house, and the litigation they do is of a larger nature, whereas the smaller firms might not do the smaller appearances works like directions in the magistrates or the Supreme Court or in VCAT. There is a value among smaller firms traditionally recognise the value of the bar and just don't seek to have that additional expertise, but also my membership at the Law Institute and my involvement in the Young Lawyers Executive got me a lot of places. Obviously, there were people who will spread your name by word of mouth. Gradually over time, others, your friends from law school as they become more senior, certainly members of the Jewish community for me have been very supportive as well. So coming to appreciate where I was getting the work from and just being sure of yourself. Now I should say I didn't have the same financial pressures as many others starting out at the bar. I was still living at home at the time. I only moved out last year. So for me it was more about just proving to myself that I actually could do the job, and generally speaking I have found that I could do that.
That's fantastic. And when you did join, were there any unexpected surprises that you found?
Probably the level of pro bono work that's out there and the quality of experiences. Pro bono was something that's big at the bar, and there are people out there who need it, many more than you'd think. And Justice Connect runs a very comprehensive program, and I've had some of my best opportunities from. I actually got an award for pro bono, the Daniel Pollock Readers Award, in my first year for junioring another barrister in a couple of pro bono matters, so it was quite good. Yeah.
That's good. And for lawyers wanting to take that step up to the bar, what's some advice you would give them that you wish you had received when you were considering it?
Tell you what, I've received pretty decent advice. Advice, everybody's individual. You can't, and that's when you get to the bar, you really learn how diverse a group we are. Be yourself is the main thing. Obviously the exam is one aspect, and I can give lots of study advice, which isn't really probably the purpose of it, but if you're going to do it properly. Everybody starts at square one, maybe not in terms of reputation, but everybody is starting at square one. Be confident, not overconfident, and make sure that you keep on networking, because otherwise where's the work coming from?
So you would say networking is critical for?
Absolutely. A barrister is only good as his or her networks. A barrister who doesn't network doesn't understand what being a barrister is about.
Joel, thank you so much for being here today. It's been a pleasure.
Louise.